This episode of Says Who is brought to you by you through your support of our Patreon at patreon.com/sayswho. That is our Patreon, where pretty much every Sunday, except not this last one, you get this all over again. You get me and Maureen doing a little thing we call the Town Watch, which is slightly shorter, a little looser, but very similar to what you get right now. And that is special for you if you give it the $5 or $10 a month level. That $10 a month level also gets you a sticker in the mail every month because you become a member of the Says Who Sticker Club. All of that is available to you at patreon.com/sayswho.
Books. I beg of you, books. I don't even know what to say about them. Just you should get them. Just get books.
Buy them books. Maureen writes them. You read them. Yeah, you do. How's it going, by the way?
Don't you dare.
Okay. Just checking.
Dan, you stop.
I'm just checking in on you. If you would like to order Maureen's books or any book is good right now. Any port in a storm, get a book. You can always go to kickbezosintheballs.org, our presciently named bookshop over on the internet, where you can get all those books. And you don't give Jeffrey Bezos any money. So that's Kick Bezos, whatever fucker, in the balls.org. If you're buying things on the internet, you can always go to merch.sayswhopodcast.com. That's our own little merchandise shop. And I would also urge you to go to shop.dansinker.com, where I sell various merchandise. I don't know why I said it like that.
It was fun.
Maureen looks so stressed out that it almost looks like your face is going to implode.
Do I really?
Yeah.
What do I look like?
You know, like when a submarine is real too deep, like that one that they sent down to the Titanic, right? Those rich dudes in their little fake submarine.
Was it called the Titan?
I don't know. I don't remember. Nobody remembers anything anymore. Doesn't matter. But I feel like your face kind of looks like what that joint probably looked like right before it just collapsed in on itself.
Well, that's good news.
Oh, no.
Yeah. No. Yeah. Woo! Yeah! I gotta get ready for this. I was shaking it out. I'm shaking out the energy. Shake. I'm flinging it across the room. I'm flinging bad vibes across the room. Bam. All right. Feel better. Just shake it out every once in a while. Dogs do it. After they get real nervous about the dog next door, they go. They're like, okay, I feel better. Yeah.
All right. Shall we begin?
What's amazing is that these noises are coming out of me naturally now, like without, it's not a setup. It's just that's sort of the noise that comes out when I open my mouth.
It's good. It's perfect.
You ever saw South Park? There's a kid named Tweak that his parents run the coffee shop and he drinks coffee all day. And so he's constantly vibrating. And just every time you say hi to him, he goes, ah! He's just kind of...
That's you right now.
Yeah, that's sort of how I feel.
Oh, perfect.
It's going to be good.
Is it?
How do you feel?
I mean, if we started this podcast?
Like, how do you feel, though?
I don't feel great.
Cool. Can we go back to Disneyland? It was so good there.
Man, I was just thinking about that.
All right, let's go.
No.
See, it just comes out. I want to tell you guys it's good. Welcome to Says Who.
Oh, no.
The podcast isn't a podcast.
It's a coping strategy. I am Dan Sinker.
I'm Maureen Johnson. Woo!
Things are going good.
I'm working on stress reduction.
It seems like there's still some work to do.
All right, Dan. My friend Julie came over this weekend.
Uh-huh.
She had to come down to the city to do something. She stayed with us. And I was saying to her, I'm worried I have brain damage.
Oh, no.
I'm like, I'm worried that I have actual cognitive impairment that's never going to go away and that I'm the only one. And I'm like, but I know, good thing is I know I'm not the only one, which is good. But like, I just feel like I'm not clicking on all levels.
Yeah.
Because of the stress.
Yeah.
And then, so she was here on Sunday. She was getting ready to go to a thing. And I took like 7 loads of laundry down to wash because we have a big laundry room.
Okay.
So we don't have washers in our apartments, but we have a very nice, really big laundry room that if you hit it at the right time, you can put all your laundry in.
Yeah.
And there's like folding tables and things. There's always at least 2 machines that aren't working. That's just how it goes.
Yeah.
So I'm listening to podcasts and I'm putting the laundry in and I'm like being like, let's get stuff done. Like, putting all the wash in. And I notice as I cross the room, the reception like on my podcast gets worse, which is weird. Like that is not normally the range.
Yeah. Especially if it's in your pocket.
Or even in general, you can walk throughout the entire apartment and still get good range.
Yeah.
Really. So I was like, oh, that's weird. And then I noticed that as I walked in one direction, it got better. And then I walked like 2 dryers over and it got worse. And I was like,
this is, I see where this is going.
I was like, that's weird. Where's my phone? I'll check out what's going on. And then I tapped my pockets. No phone.
Uh-oh.
I looked around the folding table, nothing on it except like my laundry cards and things. And okay. Then I peered in the bag that I was carrying. No phone. And then the whole picture began to develop.
Yeah.
That in my doing 7 loads of laundry and having like being a little frazzled about everything and having like a low level like hum in the back of my head.
Yeah.
What I must have done is that the phone fell in with the laundry.
Perfect.
I loaded the laundry into the machine.
Excellent.
Started the machine running.
Oh, nice.
And my phone was now taking a bath and being spun around.
That's fun.
Now, these dryers lock. These washers lock when you start using them.
Because they're a front loader.
Front loaders. Yeah. So you can't open the door. So a neighbor comes down and I'm like on the door. And I said, I accidentally put my phone in this wash. And he's like, oh man, and then he's like, you have to look up how to, and we were both like, I can't, like we had the same realization. So he starts looking it up.
Yeah.
So he looks it up and there's no like real explanation. So I keep going behind it, unplugging it, thinking that'll reset it, and it doesn't. So he and I work on this for like 10 minutes.
Yeah.
And through a combination of plugging, replugging, and then just hitting combinations of buttons and holding them.
Okay.
After 15 minutes, I hear click and I reach my hand into the water and I slop around and I pull out my phone triumphantly.
Okay.
I immediately start drying it off with anything I find in the room.
Yeah.
Because I don't have anything now with me because I'm like, rub. Phone works.
Okay.
Starts playing again. I was like, it works. Yes. Well, cut to 2 hours later. I'm listening to it and I notice it keeps cutting out sound-wise.
Okay.
Just every 3 seconds, the sound just drops.
Yeah.
And then it starts flickering. The flashlight comes on and off. It starts glowing white, and then it then it just explodes into like a white ball of light. Like it doesn't physically explode, but all that comes out of it is the brightest white light possible.
So basically, your phone became a portal to heaven.
Yeah.
Okay.
And so I was like, oh man, I need a phone. But then someone is smart, right?
Okay.
And bought AT&T Protect.
Okay.
So the next day, you're going to enjoy this story, everybody. So the next day I walk to the phone store, except like everything else, it's closed, like shut, like no store.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Like, store is gone
Yeah.
because storefronts in New York are shutting down like at a dizzying pace. And I was
Oh,
like,
perfect.
uh-oh. So I was like, well, I can't check where I'm going. I have no phone. So I try to make phone calls on my watch and it doesn't work. But
Yeah,
I
because
can
it needs a
text.
phone.
But I could text. So I managed to
Okay.
text Oscar and
Yeah.
he tell me another location. What's another 15-minute walk? It's a nice day. I walk.
Okay.
I get down there, super nice guys, and I'm like, I have the protection. I have the protection. I took out the insurance. I've paid this insurance every month. You have to give me a give me a phone. Give me a phone. I have the brochure. Well, they're like, okay, okay. They're like, so you have to call that. And I held up my dead phone and he's like, or, you can use our phone or go online and then they'll tell you what to do and they'll send you a form and then you send them the phone.
Right.
And then in like 3 to 4 days and I was like, and it's $250. And I was like, so it's useless. I've paid for useless insurance that would have me without a phone for an extended period of time and I would still have to pay. And he was like, yeah. I was like, okay, can we take that off my account right now? This is a little thing. Do not buy AT&T Protect Advantage. It won't do shit.
The Advantage is really the nice little kick in the balls in that name.
Well, welcome to my new iPhone 16 Pro.
Nice. With
a OtterBox case.
Okay.
Because I'm not fucking around anymore. This thing is now sealed up. And you know how like every time they do your bill, they're like, and we'll add another line that gives you a discount. Like they always do weird stuff where they like add a line which proves a discount, which gives you a discount, which gives. Also, turns out they love video games, and they knew the video games that Oscar made, and so they were like, "We're gonna find you a discount."
Oh wow!
So in the end of it, $600 later, because I had to pay off the other one, I have a new phone.
Fun. Well, there you go. Look at that.
It's a very nice phone.
I wonder if you would put your phone in rice right after you got it out of the thing, if that would have helped.
I think it was so completely fucked that it was the fuckery was pretty deep. It was in there and it was getting sloshed around. So I mean, I think it was pretty toast. But so you think so that's like 2 to 3 hours in the morning walking around trying to get the phone.
Yeah.
And then I think, there was a problem with my Apple password. I was like, they couldn't do everything in the store. So I had to come home and you think it's going to be quick, but it's like 3 more hours at home. Just like trying to get everything reset up again and getting Apple, like doing Apple chat and like, because there's like some vestigial email address out there that's like fucking all my, everything takes more time.
Yes.
Basically Monday gets blown because I put my phone in the wash.
Yeah.
There's a break in the middle where Oscar and I have a very serious conversation that not all of which I'm going to describe. But let's just say that current events and living with an English person have combined to a point where we have to have serious conversations on the regular.
Yeah.
Then we walked our dogs to our dogs. I adopted a bunch of. We walked Dex over to the wine store.
Yeah.
We bought a bottle of wine. They had another bottle of wine on sale. I bought that. So now you can tell things are stressful. I have personally 2 bottles of wine.
Okay.
This wine I like, I bought a second one.
Just Maureen's wine.
Because it was on sale. And they're like, someone came in and bought.
Touch.
He likes red, I like white.
Okay.
So I bought a bottle. That for me is like pretty like, whoa, I have a second bottle.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Things are getting fucking crazy.
I also had a ginger ale midday.
What?
Listen, Dad.
Man.
Look, we've been having a lot of serious conversations. But when my friend was here and Julie was here and she saw, I came back up and I was like, I had been down in the laundry room for like a half an hour. And I was like, I just had to like safe correct a washer. We had to hack a washer. I've washed my phone. And it just feels like that's the mental state I'm in. Like it's, And as Oscar and I were talking yesterday on the phone thing, I said I felt like I had pins and needles in my brain.
Yeah.
Like there was a kind of weird numbness and I'm like, oh, here it is going down the bridge of my nose. And I'm just trying to work and focus, and I'm having a lot of trouble doing that.
Yeah.
Which brings me, Dan, to, okay, what if I got another app to help me organize notes? That's probably what's going to fix my problems, right? That's an app.
I mean,
It's Markdown.
Markdown isn't an app. It's
It's Obsidian that works with Markdown, so like it's pretty basic.
It's just Obsidian.
It'll fix my life.
It won't.
It will.
I've started using Obsidian. And I think that it's just a religion.
What do you mean?
There's if you are not like deep in Obsidian plugins and everything else, it's just a place to type things.
That's all I'm really looking for.
Right, but like Google Docs would work for that.
But I want to make little notes that I can connect. That's all.
What do you mean connect?
You can put links between them.
Oh, true. Yeah.
That's really all. Yeah. I just want a place where I can, it's called the Zelen. Wait a minute. What's it called? Because it's going to fix my life, Dan.
Oh, good.
It is. You don't know what's not going to fix my life. Hold on. I have to bring up the window. It's going to fix everything, Dan.
Okay. I'm excited for you.
Zettelkasten. So it's basically little cards in a box that you organize, and you can link your thoughts. It's basically take notes, link them. That's it. That's it. Put your notes in a place where you can find ways they connect. That's the whole thing. And I'm like, I'm just looking for some place where I can drop notes and easily connect them.
Okay.
That's all I want. It's going to fix my life.
I think we're so close to Maureen's new planner on the shoe board.
See, I have a book due, Dan, and I think
there is apparently, I was just looking into this the other day, there is apparently a plugin for Obsidian that basically turns Obsidian into what's that little writing app that gives you
Scrivener?
Yes, basically turns Obsidian into Scrivener.
It kind of looks like Scrivener anyway.
Yeah, but it very specifically allows you to create like chapters and bits, and then you can compile it all into a final bit.
That's sort of why I liked it when I looked at it, because I'm like, this looks like Scrivener. Like it's you just, except you can put little links in, and then you can dump all your notes in there.
Yeah.
And then just like hit a link, and then you have all your linked stuff.
Yeah.
That's really all I'm looking to do.
Okay.
It's all about just writing little quick notes down and looking them in again and writing them down somewhere.
Yeah.
They used to keep them in big file boxes, but I thought it would be easier, especially with an app or something that's Obsidian that isn't like proprietary and I can't like get into it from other ways. All of this to say is, Dan, I have figured out to fix my life and fix my deadline. And if I could just get my brain to work and not put my phone in the wash, I can write this book and do all the things that need doing in a good and sensible way. Okay?
Okay. I believe you.
Do you?
Sure. We'll go with yes.
Can I write this book, Dan?
Yeah, you can write the book.
Are you sure?
I'm positive. It's what you do.
Is it?
Yes, but we have to get through this momentary unpleasantness first.
I don't feel normal.
Okay. I'm just really wondering if we're looking at a Maureen deadline spiral here. So you're not saying no.
I'm fine.
Are you?
I'm gonna die. I put my phone in the wash.
Yeah, that seems not great.
All right, you could call it.
What? Maureen deadline spiral.
I in acknowledging it, I might be, you can't fix a problem until you acknowledge it. I think I'm going to acknowledge that maybe that may be part of what's going on. It's not helping.
Yeah, I think it is.
I just need my brain to work.
I'm very excited to have crossed off Maureen deadline spiral.
Oh, all I need then is a dojo bump video.
to get a line.
Mm-hmm.
I need Trump and Elon to break up, which is definitely
Mm-hmm.
not happening soon, as we will discuss shortly. And I need a Trump fooled by AI to pull it all off.
Right before I put my phone in the wash,
Yeah.
when my friend was here, my father called me. And whenever my dad calls, it's like he has these kind of weird meandering conversations with me.
Mm-hmm.
And the last time we talked, he hung up on me. And I was a little bit like, all right, he knows that's not allowed. I have a thing where I'm like, you're not allowed to hang up on me.
Okay.
And I said to him, like, you need to apologize to me because, the one thing I say is no hangups. And he's like, okay, I'm sorry. I'm like, all right, forgiven. It's all done. Don't worry about it. But he's like, but how are you? I'm like, no one's good, Dad. Every time you ask me, I tell you the same thing. And he's like, I just don't want to see you so negative. You're just being negative. You got to think more positive. I was like, Dad, you're like a man looking outside at someone taking the tires off his car, stripping his car for parts, and then lighting his car on fire. And then you're looking out and saying, let's just see how this plays out. It has already played out. It is playing out. You keep saying, let's just see how this turns out. This is it turning out.
Yeah.
This is it. This is what's happening.
So
So
you had this phone conversation, and then moments later, you washed your phone.
I immediately, I half hour, I'm very like calm, but I'm like, here's what's happening.
Right.
You have to acknowledge what's happening.
Yeah.
And the thing that's interesting is he isn't fighting it anymore.
Mm-hmm.
He's not like getting angry, like, oh, come, because he usually just mumbles stuff like that.
Yeah.
It's more like, you just have to be positive. We just have to wait and see.
Right.
So I said to him, I think you know that this is bad.
Yeah.
And I think you're scared. And I think you can't quite acknowledge that something you voted for is doing this. I think you're having trouble acknowledging that.
Yeah.
And I said all of this to him in exactly this voice.
How did it go?
He just kind of listened.
Yeah.
He didn't fight me.
Right.
So he was not in a fighting mood.
Okay.
And he wasn't in a crying mood. And he wasn't in a he was just in one of his I just want you to be more positive. So I was like, okay, so he's listening on some level, but it means he just doesn't want it to be true.
Right.
And then I put my phone in the wash.
Yeah, those seem like
and
subtly connected.
The biggest thing is the story that we'll get to about an event that took place at Columbia about someone with a green card had just happened. And I was mulling over that the whole time.
Yeah.
I don't think, and I realize now Oscar didn't know about this news yet.
Okay.
So I was holding all of these things inside while trying to be somewhat of a host and not leave my poor friend sitting there without something to eat or drink or.
Perfect.
And then I just came up and was like, I put my phone in the wash.
Yeah. These things are all connected.
I think this new program will probably fix me.
I am positive that Obsidian will not fix you.
You don't know that.
Obsidian's fine.
I just want to write things down, Dan. You got something against that?
I mean,
you got something against ideas?
I guess I never thought about writing things down.
Okay. How dare you? First of all, don't give me that
like that.
I want to tell the Sayswhovians about one good thing.
Okay.
That you got to get on board with.
Okay.
I am a big fan of Shane and Ryan, who were the hosts of BuzzFeed Unsolved.
Okay.
And they went on and with a friend created a TV network, like a little, like a little production company called Watcher.
Okay.
And they make the funniest fucking shows in the world.
Okay.
I started because they make a riffed off version of BuzzFeed Unsolved called Mystery Files.
Okay.
But then when I'd watched all those or listened to them, I started watching. I was like, oh, they had the one they really advertised is this Puppet History. And I don't know, but I started watching it.
Yeah.
Puppet History. Let me explain why it's good.
Okay.
It's a little puppet called the Professor Shane is the puppet, telling a story to Ryan and a comedian about history.
Okay.
But what's amazing is that as the show goes on, the professor starts to take on this demented lore. I think largely because Shane wrote a bunch of this when it was in the pandemic.
Okay.
And as it goes on, it becomes, if you start from the beginning, it's just a puppet telling a story. And then it becomes incredibly demented in that the professor tries to time travel, but he's also kind of he's got a wish from a genie. He may have made a deal with the devil. He goes back in time. He's got dinosaur parents. Like
Sure.
there's a curse, but every episode ends with a musical number. These are goddamn genius, like god tier level musical numbers. They clearly have
Wow.
like amazing. I can't explain to you how funny they are. You can watch it on YouTube for free. I have now bought a subscription for $7 a month.
Wow.
So that I can watch them uninterrupted. But holy God, I highly recommend. And you may watch one or two and be like, okay, but then as it goes on, the lore of the professor becomes more and more. And if you like unsolved mysteries, they've actually made opening credits for their mystery files that are clearly riffed off the opening credits of Loki.
Okay.
So it's very like slides clicking and very 70s file, like images on a desk. They've done a really good job. So it's just a bunch of people that made their own network and make incredibly fucking funny shows.
I love it.
Tune in. You can watch it for free. And then if you like it, you can pay $7 a month and get all of it, or do a free trial or something. It's really good.
Well, there you go.
Recommended.
All right. Well, this episode of Says Who.
No.
Well, we just end on a high note.
I just talked for 27 minutes without stopping.
You did. Yeah, it's true.
I put my phone in the wash.
You did do that. But now you have a nice, shiny, giant phone.
Here's washed phone.
Look at how... Oh, you still had the washed phone?
Yeah.
It's very clean.
Oh, it's clean.
That is one clean phone.
Yep. Don't get AT&T Protect Advantage. They won't do anything.
I do feel like those things where the deductible is almost the price of a new phone, or more than the price of a new phone, do feel a little scary.
Yeah, I was just a couple of months away from paying off the phone, so I was like, okay, I'll just pay off the fucking phone and then...
No good.
Give me a new $3,000 phone, I guess.
No good. No good. Well, Maureen Johnson, we should probably...
Should we?
Probably go. So
nope.
Thanks everyone for listening.
No. Nope.
All right. We will, in fact, talk about the news, as you have mentioned a little bit. This past Saturday night, Mahmoud Khalil, the lead negotiator at Columbia University's Gaza encampment, a green card holder, a recent graduate of Columbia University, master's degree, wife who is 8 months pregnant, had ICE agents, DHS agents, barge into the lobby of his Columbia University-owned building, pick him up, and take him away. He explained to them that he was a green card holder. After they first told him that his visa was revoked, he was like, I'm not on a visa. I'm a green card holder. They then told him that that was revoked, which isn't a thing that really happens. Taken away. For quite a while, his wife and his lawyers didn't know where he was. It turns out he was in Louisiana. Marco Rubio himself claims to have revoked his green card, which is, again, a thing that people were like, I don't think that can happen. And then finally somebody was like, actually, there's this really obscure anti-communist law from the 1950s that says if the Secretary of State personally says this, it can happen. Anyway, a judge has put a halt for now to him being taken out of the country. But this is all so fucked up. Just massively and insanely fucked up. That based on nothing illegal, Donald Trump has gone on a fucking social media tear about him, but nobody has said he's done anything illegal. And yet somehow has been picked up, has at least theoretically had his green card revoked. Green card is very different than a visa for folks that don't know. Yeah, it's
sure
fucked.
is.
It's super
Sure
fucked.
It sure is. I mean, yeah, let's just say, Dan, it tells you something about the situation that I'm afraid to say out loud, like that Oscar has one. Like it
Right.
that's, you know what I mean? Like it feels weird.
Yeah.
Then I'm like, but I can't, like it's legal protection. Like it's
Right. In theory, it's very legal protection.
Mhm.
There are many, 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 many things that are fucked up, but at least on the surface level, the fact that Columbia University still has not come out and been like, hey, what the fuck?
All
The
right.
fact that no major universities are coming out and saying, hey, what the fuck?
Okay, I am a New York City resident. I went to Columbia. I
Yeah.
lived in Columbia graduate student housing. Like they own all these apartments.
Yeah.
I know them. I know those apartments very well. The fact that Columbia, who are notorious shitbags,
Yeah.
administrative wise, allowed ICE on campus.
Yeah.
That he begged them for help.
Yeah. Yeah, that came out that the day before this all happened, he wrote to the interim president and the head of security to say, hey, I think that ICE is stalking me and I need you to help me out here.
Mm-hmm. And they did the opposite.
Not. Yeah, they did not. This coming on the heels of Columbia having $400 million of federal grants and things like that pulled. And we have seen the cowardice of higher ed now on display long before the Trump administration rolled in, right? Higher ed's reactions to the Gaza encampments and protests was just abysmally fucking terrible, So this is not new, right? It's not like they lost a spine. They had no fucking spine to begin with. But this is a different level of everything. And it's not just a campus thing, it is, as has been pointed out many times now, singling out and doing this to somebody who is, he is Syrian, but he is in fact of Palestinian descent, choosing somebody who was, outspoken in protests that were polarizing is on purpose, right? But it doesn't stop there. We all know that fucking poem, right? Like it doesn't stop with the first, maybe not fully endorsed by every one group, right? But it gets there, it is absolutely unconscionable for this to be happening.
There is, and I believe she still might be there's a British comics artist, graphic novel creator, who was traveling, and there was basically a little mix up with her. She could get into Canada, and she had to come back into the U.S. just for some reason.
Yeah,
and ICE picked her up.
Right.
And I believe she's still in a detention center.
This has happened a couple times now with German folks as well, where, they're on visas. But again, just to make a designation, we're not talking about a visa holder here.
No,
right? Like visas can be revoked and are revoked often. Not that those cases are cases of visas being revoked, but there is a lot more.
Oh, the green card's real serious.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's a real serious process. And it provides protection.
Yeah, it literally provides constitutional protections to you.
And Marco Rubio came out and was basically like, and I'll pull anybody who's...
Yeah, Marco Rubio is a full-on shitbag. It's worth pointing out that man was fucking voted by every Democrat, voted to make him Secretary of State as well. You know, like everyone is fucking complicit in this shit. Yeah, it is not good. It is not good, but Maureen, there is a lot not good happening right now. The stock market is crashing after Trump has fucked around on tariffs a few too many times, saying that he's doing them, then suddenly pulling them, then saying they're back on, and suddenly now it turns out that people don't love unpredictability when it comes to, I don't know, the economy.
Really?
Yeah, it's weird.
Huh.
Yesterday, he gave an interview on Fox News, because that's the only place he does interviews, where he didn't rule out the idea that a recession might be imminent. That also did great jobs for the stock market. At this point, a lot of folks are now saying that avoiding a recession seems deeply unlikely. Imagine, Maureen, for a second being Joe Biden, having quite successfully navigated the post-pandemic period where there was just insane inflation and somehow not ending up with a recession. And doing that over 4 years, having everyone shit on your job, despite the fact that you actually kind of did something that nobody thought was even possible. And then this fucko rolls into town and within 2 months undoes absolutely fucking everything.
Yeah, it's hard to explain the scale of the. I was saying to Oscar the other day, I'm like, I feel like I'm in a waiting room. Like we're living. I'm like, I feel like I'm now just on this circuit of like waking up, doing some stuff, going like it's very. I feel like I'm waiting for something, and it feels like COVID. Like it's very locked in. Like I'm. Like I don't feel like I'm quite living normally.
Yeah.
In any way, which again is an appropriate response to this. Like, and I'm definitely doing work, helpful work. But there's just this sense of like, I'm like, oh, it isn't like there's an end thing that's happening. But I guess I'm like, well, I'm like, what is it my brain is waiting for?
There is, I think, that feeling of, it feels a little bit like the early moments of COVID, like before they had fully called it, right? Which actually is literally was 5 years ago from right now. You know, like our kids' schools were called on the 14th, I believe. It does feel like that. Like we're on a precipice of a thing that I think everyone knows is happening, but it hasn't quite happened.
And what is it? What is it?
I mean, a huge 2008 style recession, probably at a minimum.
Okay, so you have a financial thing. I think I'm waiting for the actual, because that's the thing, is it's so many things that it's
yeah. So I mean,
and maybe personally, I'm like, how do I keep my husband safe? Is like part of this. You know what I mean? Like that's always ticking in my head. Yeah.
It is many, many things all at once. Meanwhile, Trump this morning announced further tariffs on Canadian goods because he's mad that they put tariffs on shit going into the U.S. Continues his insane insistence that Canada should become a state.
There's always that. You know what I mean? There's always just like, and also we're going to take this other country.
Yeah. It is. I mean, I think the thing is like what it is a little bit hard. I mean, there are things that are easy, right? Like we are on the precipice of a, huge recession. But I think there's also that feeling of like we are on the precipice of real fascism in this country, which a recession will only help. Any
economic downturn is a real breeding ground for that kind of thing.
Right. I think that I read somebody who is basically like the issue that these guys are dealing with is that authoritarianism there is a certain number of people that like, and that is in a situation like this, authoritarianism is actually pretty easy to bring in. And we're seeing that, right? But the thing that nobody likes is fucking chaos. And we're also seeing that, right? And that they're sort of undermining the ease with which they could be sliding right into authoritarianism by just creating chaos at every possible way and burning a lot of bridges in the process. For instance, here, I'll bring you with some good news, Maureen.
Okay.
While the stock market has done badly, Tesla
Okay.
has fared far worse. It has dropped 36% of its overall value in the last month, which is a lot of money. And a lot of money, specifically Elon Musk's. Meanwhile, protests at Tesla dealerships continue to grow. They have now gotten to the point where Elon Musk is on Twitter blaming Jews, of course, because that's the kind of fucking guy he is. Attacks, literal actual attacks on cars, dealerships, charging stations are accelerating all around the world. My friend was just walking down Clark Street in Chicago the other day and was like, look what I saw. And there was a Cybertruck with the word Nazi spray painted on the side.
Oh, you love to see it.
Yeah.
Can I just say there's a video out there that somebody made that is brilliant. I have to find it. It was on Instagram. I saw the reel. Because they tagged it The Hunter and the Hunted. And so it was this car that was following a Cybertruck, and they realized that the back panel of the Cybertruck is a perfect, like a movie screen almost. Yeah. So they have been they've been driving around behind Cybertrucks, projecting messages on them, like little movies. It is amazing. It's beautiful.
Saw that. It is really good.
Good work.
So yeah, Tesla seems to be, at least for now, quite fucked. Especially in Europe, Tesla sales are like down 75%.
There's a little bit. I'm very pro the printing up the leaflets and putting them on the Teslas.
Yeah.
Bit of a situation in New York because some of those Teslas are taxis.
Okay.
They're basically like cars owned by a service that the drivers are not responsible for the ownership of the Tesla.
Right.
So it seems a little douchebaggy to be like, I know you're just trying to make, ends meet and feed your family, and this is not your car.
Right.
To harass you.
Right.
So that is what has kept me from doing that, because I'm like, any of these could be, sometimes you can see the TNL, but some of them are like kind of owned by people that share them. Right. And I never want to hurt a driver who's like not getting paid enough to drive around the car that's not theirs.
Putting a flyer in isn't necessarily hurting anyone. I don't think that's even all that douchebaggy.
I don't want the drivers who are not responsible for the car, who may also totally agree, feel bad about, their job is already pretty tough.
Yeah.
So that's my moral conundrum. So I've been looking for ones that I can clearly see are like, because some of them have like doctor's plates. I'm like, okay, you bought that.
Well, meanwhile, Elon Musk's other business, Twitter, was under prolonged DDoS attack yesterday and down for significant periods of time. Musk once again didn't blame the Jews this time, did blame Ukrainians, who said that that's where it was coming from. Everyone that actually knows anything says that's not the case. SpaceX blew up another rocket, which exploded over the Gulf of Mexico, causing hundreds of air flights to have to very quickly reassign their flight paths and all of that. But this little beauty, I feel like, hasn't been commented on enough. After enough folks got under his ketamine-fueled skin about that explosion, Elon Musk tweeted out, 1,000% I will be aboard the next manned spaceflight on Starship. I'm going to put my money where my mouth is. That will finally shut up some of you, won't it?
When is the next manned flight?
Well, that's the trick. So he's talking about this one specific rocket, Starship, which is, I think, they're the rocket that's supposed to go to Mars or whatever. They are well and many years away from any manned flight experiments. They're still just blowing them up on, wherever. So, but who knows? The guy could maybe just, snort some horse tranquilizer and be like, we're doing it now.
Now, Dan, I don't have any experience with heavy drugs, hard drugs.
Yeah.
So I don't know exactly what ketamine feels like.
Yeah.
I understand it is dissociative.
Yeah.
I guess it's euphoric. Is it like super cocaine? Like, is it?
I don't know enough either. There is a hallucinogenic aspect to it, I believe. But yeah, I mean, I think when you're doing it at the level that he's doing it, you feel pretty great and you feel like you can do anything.
I sort of imagine it's like super cocaine.
Yeah, I think it sort of is.
And if you take too much, you go into a K-hole.
Yeah. Which I think he spends a lot of his time in.
Yes. So,
I think he should just seek the ultimate high on that one. Just
go big.
Jump on the top of that rocket. Meanwhile,
no, Dan, don't. You know what? Don't wait for the manned one. Go up on the next.
I'm saying, just go for it.
There's got to be fucking. You could put on some sort of respirator. Get in there.
Jump the line, bub.
Just go.
Do it.
You got a fast pass at Super Disney. Get in there. Get involved.
Meanwhile, the Washington Post today has a big pity party article about Doge. Now, everyone at Doge is really bummed that they're not being welcomed as heroes.
That's a shame.
Yeah.
That makes me sad.
In the article, they talk about how everyone associated with Doge is now obsessed with finding, quote, wins. Literally every meeting now is like, bring me a win. And nobody can bring them a win. And they keep talking about how they need to get better at storytelling. Which is when you know you're doing well.
Look, probably what they need to do is bring in a corporate improv company to walk them through some basic yes and exercises. Okay, give me an example of something you did today, Dan. What was something you did today?
Made a lunch.
Okay, and in your work, what's another thing you did?
Some writing.
Okay. And did you shut down any important, businesses today?
I didn't realize we were role playing.
Yeah. You're gonna be there.
I was only half paying attention.
Yes, as
you said corporate improv, my brain just went.
I know.
Shut off.
That's what I'm saying.
I'm from Chicago. We have very thick skin around corporate improv.
That's what I'm saying. Let's destroy them from within. I think that if you send in enough corporate improv people, we can take Doge down from the inside.
I literally can't tell you how much of just an involuntary reaction I have to those words.
Give me a style of movie.
I'm not doing it.
Come on, give me a style.
I'm not your fucking monkey.
Come on, say any comedy, western, romance.
Anyway.
Do it.
Things are bad enough, apparently, for Elon Musk.
Oh, hey, partner, what's going on with old sharpshooter Musk?
God, help me. Somebody help me here.
Hey, barkeep.
This is the worst experience of my life.
Fill my boot up with something from that jug with 3 X's on it. Hey, partner, you new around here?
Oh, God.
Yeah, just rode in. My leg sure is tired, but I got a good horse. Horse? I'm a little bit English sometimes. They call me English Jim.
Meanwhile, Maureen, things are bad enough for Elon Musk, it seems, that Donald Trump attempted to come to his rescue last night over on Truth Social, posting, "To Republicans, conservatives, and all great Americans, Elon Musk is, quote, putting it on the line in order to help our nation and is doing a fantastic job," fantastic jobs in all caps, "but the radical left lunatics, as they often do, are trying to illegally and collusively boycott Tesla." Okay, first of all, I have a question here.
What is it, partner? I'm still Western. I'm still English Jim. Okay, just go with it.
So obviously you can't illegally like, I'm not buying a car. That's not illegal. But collusively is an amazing word and not a word that Donald Trump knows.
Yes, and I bet he's probably gonna. You have to come back. We're doing an improv. Come back. Say, do you want some of this triple X booze from my boot? Give me your boot. I'll pour some in.
Trying to illegally and collusively boycott Tesla, one of the world's great automakers, and Elon's, quote, baby, in order to attack and do harm.
We should get the sheriff in.
God
you be the sheriff. You be the sheriff.
I'm not being the fucking sheriff. I'm not going to do it.
All right, well, sheriff's not in. I guess we're just going to have to run them out of town ourselves.
In order to do harm to Elon and everything he stands for, they tried to do it to me at the 2024 presidential ballot box. But how did that work out? In any event, I'm going to buy a brand new Tesla tomorrow morning as a show of confidence and support for Elon Musk, a truly great American. Why should he be punished for putting his tremendous skills to work in order to help make America great again? It ends with 3 question marks. That was last night. It is no longer the morning on the East Coast. You're just waiting to do another fucking little improv thing. I can just see it in your little fucking face right now. You're just like, I'm just waiting. I'm waiting for him to stop talking so that I can just jump in with my stupid fucking Western improv bullshit. You're just sitting there waiting to do it. But I'm not going to stop talking. I'm going to just go all the way through the end of this goddamn episode without breaking so that you can't get in. How do you like that, little Miss Improv, huh? I'm just going to keep on going. I'm going to not even look at this screen, and I'm just going to say, the point being, Donald Trump, as of now, as of 1:30 p.m. Eastern Time, has not yet bought a Tesla. Go figure. What a shock. Anyway, this has been a real pleasure, everyone. Says Who is made possible by you through your support of our Patreon at patreon.com/sayswho. That's our Patreon, where every Sunday, pretty much every Sunday.
Can I just step in here for 1 second, partner?
Fuck off.
You sure do talk fast. You must be from the city. Now, I'm looking at the counter, and we're only at 53 minutes, so you can't do the end just yet, partner. We still have to we got to parlay a little more. Come on, why don't we go out and we'll ride the range together?
I hate this so much.
I have a swift horse you can borrow. Her name's Mumps. You want to ride her? Come with me. Come get on Mumps. Let's ride out of here. My horse is named Krista Snatch. I'm not good at this. Give me another one. Do you want to do romance?
I don't want to do improv.
I say,
There's
Lord
never
Sinker.
been any moment in my entire life that I've wanted to do improv.
Lord Sinker, I think you protest too much. Will you be at the ball?
Just gonna
I say.
do other shit.
What are you writing? A novel? Ah, is it one of your works? What are you writing now? Oh, I wonder who's going to be walking up and down the promenade today. Lord Sinker. I put a feather on.
Says Who is made possible by
I put
you.
my phone in the wash.
You did.
Lord Sinker's back. Oh, I'm so happy you're here. Yes. Now, I notice you're unmarried. I'm talking to no one. There's no one behind the microphone. You can't hide from me, though, Lord Sinker. I'll find you. Come back.
Your support of our Patreon at patreon.com/sayswho. That's our Patreon, where pretty much every Sunday you get this all over again. Who wouldn't want this? If you give her the $5 or $10 a month level, that $10 a month level also gets you a sticker in the mail every month because you become a member of the Says Who Sticker Club. Our theme music is performed by Ted Leo. Our logo is designed by Darth. You can contact us at sayswhopodcast.com on Blue Sky, at sayswho at omfg.town on Mastodon. You can always email it, hey, that's HEY at sayswhopodcast.com. You can join the discussion on Facebook at /group/sayswhovians. Our Facebook group is moderated by Janice Dillard. There's also the fan-run Discord server at tinyurl.com/sayswhodiscord. Spread the word, subscribe, leave stars and reviews on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, YouTube, or wherever it is that you listen. And you can join us next Wednesday, March 19th, for our very next episode. From my basement in Chicago, I'm Dan Sinker. From her closet in New York, she's Maureen Johnson. This has been Says Who.
Now, Lord Sinker, is it true your son remains unmarried? Come on! Come on! Do the improv.
I'm not doing.
Do you want to do the
West?
Do you want to do the Western one again?
I don't want to do any of it.
English Jim's back. Hey, partner.
No.
Come on. It'll make you feel better.
It won't.
It'll help you explore your feelings.
There's never been a moment in anyone's life that improv has made them feel better.
Now, do you see? This is why we send one to Doge. This is like the sabotage manual. You say stupid stuff. You send in a bunch of improv people and you make them do this. Improv will save us.
That last 15 minutes just made me so uncomfortable.
Then why do I feel so much better?
I hated it. When I was like 15 or 16 or something, and I still can't believe that this was allowed, but me and a couple of friends took the train to New York City and stayed at a very, very cheap hotel for a few days. And we were, children, so it's not like we could do a lot. And this was long before I should make a caveat here. It's long before any of the allegations against Bill Cosby came out, but we got free tickets to see the Cosby Show get filmed, right? And so we took like the train to Queens or wherever it was that they filmed it. And we get in, and there's a large audience, and they have a comedian to warm up the audience, and the comedian does an entire set based on nothing but the fact that my friend Sarah sitting next to me had green hair. So that's how uncomfortable I felt then. I mean, Sarah felt much more uncomfortable than me, but that's how I feel right now.
I hear you, partner.
God damn it.
But I'm saying, if you get on mumps and I get on Krista Snatch, you and me, we go riding out towards them there hills. And when you see them in the sunlight, why, they shine like amber, which doesn't really shine, but if you put enough light on it, it might. And together, we'll ride the range. We'll see the buffalo. We'll maybe catch a snake and eat it. I guess that's what cowboys eat. Snake. Come on, partner, what do you say? Come on, partner, what do you say? Come on, you say.
Fine.
Yay! Yay! I win. Why am I so happy now?
Let's see. There we go. We turned your frown upside down.
There should be improv therapy where you're forced to do it, and when it's over, you feel better.
I mean, only you felt better.
It's like when you have to clench and release. When you're done doing the improv and you're done, you feel great.
You feel great.
I do feel great.
Well, I'm glad. I'm glad you feel better.
I got a new phone. I got a new attitude.
There you go. And you've got Obsidian to make sure that everything's perfect now.
Dan, either Obsidian or note cards. I haven't decided yet.
Note cards are probably the better move, honestly. Because then you can just stick them up in front of you. That's how I do it. I have a little bulletin board. Put my little note cards on it. Works great.
This has been...
I mean, we already did that part.
Riding on the range.
God damn
with
it.
English Jim and Bearded Dan. I'm not really good at, I don't know many Western cliches. I just know they have horses.
It's fine. You
Like
did
I wasn't
fine.
really prepared. I know they're always in a bar and there's a sheriff.
Mm. Yeah,
You have a
great.
lasso.
You did it. Nice work.
Thanks.